Now the purpose of this course is to perform CRUD operations on this book object. So for that we need pages to create a new book, edit a new book, delete a book, and also view all of the books that are available. So we'll go to Solution Explorer, and inside Pages we have the index page and few other pages. All of the book pages, let me add this in a new folder and we'll call this book list. In here, let me add a new razor page. So what you have to do is right click, add, and we'll add a razor page. We will go with the empty razor page because going with this will solve our problems, but we will not know what was done. So we'll go with the empty razor page and let's call this index. What are all the options here? First option is to create a page model class. As you saw with the index page here, we have index page as well as page model. We need a page model class because we need to populate all of the books from the database and pass that to the page to display it. So that's why we'll need that. Then this won't be a partial view. A partial view is something which is a small subsection, like maybe group of buttons that you want to reuse in multiple places in your website. But this is a complete page, so that won't be a partial view. And we will use our layout page because that is the master page and we want to be consistent. So with this, let's add this. One drawback that I see with the razor pages is when we will be adding index pages, it might get confusing. Because you see we have a master index page, inside book list we have another index page. So whenever you are working, make sure you are working on the correct index page. At this time we'll be working on index and index page model inside the book list. So if you have any other pages open, you can close them. Inside the index page, what we want to do is we want to retrieve all of the books from the database. So for that, we need the application DB context. Whenever you have to deal with the database, you will need the application DB context. When you added the application DB context right here in the services, that means that you have added it to the pipeline. Once you have added it as a pipeline, you can use them using dependency injection. So we need an object of application DB context. What you will do is you'll say private read only application DB context. And let's call this _DB. Now we need to initiate our constructor. So we'll type ctor tab, and right here we will get the application DB context DB. This application DB context we are getting using dependency injection. So right here we'll say _DB is equal to DB. This way you can extract the application DB context that is inside the dependency injection container and inject it onto this page. If you did not have dependency injection, what you would have to do is you would have to create a new object, and then once you are done with that, you'll have to dispose that and all the other things. With dependency injection, you do not have to worry about anything. Now what we want to do is we want to return a list or an IEnumerable of book. So we'll say public IEnumerable of book. Let's call this books. We'll have the getter and setter. What we will do is we'll assign this books all of the books from the database. How do we get that? It's very simple because we're using entity framework. We'll use await here and we'll say _DB dot books. You can see it already has the book, and we have a method here which is toList, and we'll call the async method. We'll have to do a control dot for the async to use entity framework core. Now when you are using async and await rather than void, you will have to use async task. What we are doing here is we are going to database and retrieving all of the books, storing that inside the IEnumerable, and we are doing that inside the get handler. So when we go inside the view here, we will already have list of books available to display. All you did was right here, you extracted that and it is already available inside your view to display. Now one thing to notice is right now I'm using await and async. What async does, this is a basic C# explanation and not related to .NET Core, so I won't be going into much details, but async will basically let you run multiple tasks at a time until it is awaited. Right here, we need to await because we need to assign all the books that we found. But the method that we have is also async and task. So this was all you had to do for the get handler. Again, if it was MVC, this would be action methods. But with Razor pages inside the page model, we have handlers. In the next video, let's write some code here and see the list of books.